Similarly, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has accused the Independent National Electoral Commission of showing a lack of commitment toward improving Nigeria's electoral system. He spoke while hosting a European Union delegation led by Barry Andrews, where he urged INEC to work closely with the National Assembly to pass laws that ensure every vote count is free, fair, and transparent elections. In response, INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu called on lawmakers to speed up amendments to the electoral laws, citing legal uncertainties as an obstacle. A policy strategist, law and governance expert Sam Amadi, as well as policy analyst Victor Okhai, joins me now to speak to the European Union recommendations ahead of Nigeria's 2027 elections. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here. Let me start with you, Victor. What specific recommendations from the EU election follow-up missions report do you believe are crucial for addressing the shortcomings observed during the 2023 election, and how can their implementation be prioritized going into 2027?
I think the issue of simultaneous transmission of electronic and manual results would help, will go to a very long way. Because the truth is that it's like what happens in agriculture, where from the farm, you know, before products leave the farm and get to the final consumer, a lot of goods are lost in the process, particularly in a place like Nigeria. It's the same thing. You know, the harvest from the electoral field, a lot of it is distorted and manipulated before it gets to the final collation center where results are announced. For me, it's not just a matter of putting a legal framework in place. What is more important is the will to execute it, you know, so that voters' confidence can be restored.
All right, Sam, the union made 23 recommendations. 8 of that were specific for INEC. I want to take priority 2, which talked about the establishment of a publicly accountable selection process for INEC members. There's been a lot of conversation about this within the country among analysts and in the media space for a while prior to this recommendation by the EU mission. Do you think perhaps this will expedite action towards that, or it's just mere words considering the closeness to the 2027 elections?
Well, I think that's the big ticket item, the appointment of INEC chairman and commissioners, and that has been since the days of Ray's report. It's been a major issue. President Jonathan didn't quite take that up when he had to do the reform. But again, this is the point. It's real political weight has to come in to make that work. It's divesting the president of what is usually associated with executive power. You know, if you look at the constitutional law, presidents used to have the privilege and the right to appoint heads of executive agencies. But because of the sensitivity of INEC operations across the world, there are much more structured way in which the members of the commission are appointed. In South Africa, it's more like what was recommended, independent, merit-based, maybe a commission like the NJC and so on and so forth. So the question then is, these calls for, you know, removing this power from the president, can it really carry on? Can the National Assembly take it on? My fear is that they probably cannot, except there is real political consensus. The missing actor and the big elephant that can drive this is the constitution of political parties. The parties themselves, the opposition parties, come together and are strong on pushing for this as minimum condition for a fair election. That may carry some weight, and of course they have significant membership in the National Assembly to constitute a serious conversation around it. Unfortunately, none of the political parties have come out strong to push for this significant reform. So with the voice of the EU and some of the civil society groups, Abuja School has been saying this, will it carry the day? I have my doubts. So Abuja School thinks that maybe a revised version can sail through, which is a version that even keeps the power of appointment, but restricts who can be appointed. And in our own version, you exclude all those who have party membership, party office for the last 5 years, and then those who are appointed will never hold political office for the next 5 years. Political office by the president or governor or even party leadership. So we have two options here. It'd be nice to take that part for the president, but the political pressure, the dynamics that can result in National Assembly boldly doing this and the president signing on to that enactment is not in play right now. Then the alternative could be to leave that power, but basically reshape, redefine in narrow sense who can be appointed so as to ensure to a large measure that those who have been partisan in membership, in appointment, in political life never gets in there. I think this is really the big ticket item. And the second one would be what my colleague said, which is immediate, simultaneous transmission from the polling unit to a portal that's open to all, so that there's no second guessing the result from polling units.
Yeah, the EU mission did talk about that, and they also encouraged more of transparency and accountability in the process during and afterwards for better transparency. But there are two recommendations that the mission proposed. I mean, it's not all bad. For instance, they said those that are attaining 18 years should get the opportunity to register. And we know that is ongoing at the moment. And then the constitution review is also taking into consideration affirmative action for women, more prominence in politics. Are there areas perhaps you feel that in between 2023 and now some effort has been shown that might result in changes by 2027 in one of the recommendations? This is for you, Victor.
Okay, so you see, I'm a little worried, even if I were to say, okay, what gains have we made? A situation where you move one step forward and 3 steps backwards does not show any gain at all. And I'll tell you why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. Recently, and Dr. Amadi has rightly alluded to one of the important areas being in the appointment of, electoral officers. Now, a situation where the appointment of the new INEC chairman is fraught with, I don't know how to put it, a bit of controversy. People are just grumbling on that. People cannot speak out loud. And they all see it as part of a manipulation process towards victory, in 2027. It doesn't all go well because voter confidence is at the heart. The biggest problem we have in this country today is voter apathy. I've talked to a lot of people, and what I hear all the time is, oh, we didn't vote for them, we didn't put them there. What's the point voting? If we vote, will our votes count? That's not healthy for any country at all. It may be good for the politicians, that's what they want. But it's not healthy for the country. Because what it simply means is that every electoral cycle is just going to be a jamboree. It will end up being like the local government elections where it's like the results have already been written. And so there's no point, there's no point going out anyway, because we all know what the results are going to be like. Now, when it gets to a point like that, then it is terrible for the country. And so in talking about what gains we may have made in that direction, frankly, I don't see any. If we move one step forward and then go back 3 steps backwards, then it's not helping any.
All right, Victor, I'm talking about less than a minute. So, Sam, quickly, your thoughts on Atiku Abubakar's accusation of INEC of a lack of commitment towards electoral reform process. Is INEC really to blame, or the structure itself that is Nigeria and its creation at the heart of it? In 40 seconds, if you can. I know it's a tight squeeze.
Yeah, sure. I think, yes, INEC has problem. But look, I'll go back to Atiku and say INEC should actually blame the political parties. I mean, since 2023, what has really the political parties, the political leaders, Atiku Abubakar, all of them, what have they done to push the government? INEC is not the one who makes reform, actually. INEC is the one who implements. So I push back. What has the agency done? What has the Labour Party done? What has the PDP done in concrete, consistent, insistent way to make sure and the Rose report, the report of the civil society, EU, gets implemented. These are parties, these guys are only thinking about being candidates to election. They're not thinking about creating that structural enablement for free and fair election. So I blame the politicians more than I blame them. Yes, INEC, look, and by the way, final one, the electoral system was going to be great in 2023. INEC switched off the server, and INEC, the IRF, and INEC ruined everything. Nigeria has reformed largely. 2023 Electoral Act was good enough to give us good outcome. INEC was partisan and so I blame the politicians, I blame the parties, I blame everybody.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate your time and the insights you've provided.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.